He's never fought us. Not us united.
My favorite moment in the entire... Maybe I should complicate this before I start speaking here.
All right, guys. You know that I'm normally one to... You know that I'm generally a positive person. I think anyone that's watched this channel for any amount of time will establish that. But look at me in the eyes. I'm going to tell you this. It's not over yet. Here's how I know that. All right. So part of the see, here's the thing. Everyone's upset that like we're getting a hard reboot before we get the conclusion, right? All right. So we have 4 movies. Well, movies right now. Aquaman, Shazam, Flash, and Aquaman. If those 3, I'm going to tell you this right now. Here's how there's hope that we could at least get a Justice League movie or Kingdom Come movie to wrap it all up, and then we can do the reboot. Because part of the reason why I get the feeling they're doing the reboot is because they need money and they need cheaper actors. But if these movies do well in the box office, in other words, if Flash does well, if Aquaman does well, and if Shazam does well, guess what's going to happen? They will see the business like direction in one more go around with these characters. Because part of the reason why they're going for a reboot is because I don't think there's a business interest in continuing this universe, howsoever briefly. But if we show them that there's a business interest, one more, bite the bullet. I know some part of you guys want to boycott the Flash, but bite the bullet. If these 3 movies do as well as their predecessors, guess what happens? Most likely, they will say, okay, just give it one more movie to wrap it up, and then we're good to go. Then we can go on with the reboot. Then we're good. And in terms of, well, come out after Flash, just do a panel, come out and say it takes place before Flash, and you're good to go. You're good to go. Or just put it on a multiverse. Well, actually, what Flash will probably do is it won't destroy the SnyderVerse. It'll just place it as a world, the multiverse. That way they can always come back to it if they ever feel so inclined. However, I'm just going to say again, I'm just going to tell you, if you want the SnyderVerse to actually, if you want to actually like get the SnyderVerse back, guess what? You have to watch these 3 movies because they will, and because we would be sending a message to Warner Brothers saying, no, we want this right now because Black Adam underperformed. I'm sure that didn't help our cause, particularly since Henry Cavill's in this movie. But if we show them that there's still interest in this universe, if there's still substantial financial interest in this universe, it just makes business sense for them to say, okay, you know what? Let's pursue it one more time. Let's do one more movie with all the actors, because if you get all the actors together, you combine base, you do a Justice League movie to wrap up the story. You could do Darkseid invading and then it just gets beaten. I know we want to see the Nightmare timeline, but chances are that'll be a very truncated version of this movie if it shows up at all. Or they could do a Kingdom Come movie where it's like the Justice League move on, and then they're called back to action and such. So there's any number of ways that this could still work. Or most likely what I'm predicting is that James Gunn could change his mind and say, okay, one more movie, because of all the backlash they're getting, particularly from Cavill. And I think once they 100%, once he comes out and says Gal Gadot's not going to play Wonder Woman anymore, which I know he kind of has, but once that gets more mainstream, that is going to explode because most people like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. It's not going to work out that well for DC if they do it this way. So really, once again, what I'm seeing is that really what I'm seeing is that it's not over yet. It is 100% not over yet. It's just all you have to do is watch Aquaman, Flash, and Shazam to show Warner Brothers that there is measurable interest in this universe, at least for one more movie to wrap it up. If you do that, it's, let me put it this way, it's significantly more likely than it is now. If those movies succeed, it's significantly more likely that they will continue the universe. Significantly more likely if we show them that there's a monetary incentive. Because here's the thing. I see so many people on Twitter saying they're losing money. Don't conclude Zack Snyder's story. Show them. Show them. Go to those movies and say, okay, cool. Because guess what? Because I know they're not in the SnyderVerse, but here's the thing, though. You're showing Warner Brothers that those actors in those roles are still profitable. So they'll start paying attention more to DeLuca and Abdi, who wanted to do one more Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if we do that, again, if we do this and Aquaman makes like $1 billion, which I think it still can. Flash, I've heard, is really good. So if that does well, and if Shazam does extremely well, then guess what? You got it, dudes. He can come back. So all I'm saying is that it's not over. So go see these movies, and possibly we could get the Snyderverse back, or at least for one more ride. Stay heroic, everyone. I'm Jared from Comics League, and drop in the comments if you guys agree with me, or if you think it's a lost cause, which I don't think it's a lost cause. But stay heroic. I will see you in the next video.